My name's Kayla Hill, and we're going to go over blood and blood vessels today. So to start, what is blood? Blood is a fluid connective tissue that constantly circulates in our human body. Some of the functions of blood are delivering oxygen and nutrients to cells, carry away waste products. It also helps maintain blood pressure, protects us from infection, as well as many other things. Some of the components of blood are plasma, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Crazy fact, we haven't figured out how to reproduce, synthesize, or imitate blood. This next picture shows the development of cells in our body. So to start, we have a blood stem cell that comes down to a myeloid stem cell, as well as a lymphoid stem cell. We then come down to red blood cells, platelets, and a myeloblast, which also comes down to white blood cells. From the lymphoid stem cell, we have a lymphoblast, and that comes down to white blood cells again. When we give blood, after we are done, our blood is tested for infectious diseases and then separated. Yes, I said separated. It is separated into whole blood. Here is a chart of formed elements. So we have a couple different cell types: red blood cells, white blood cells. And then to go into more detail, we have a neutrophil, a basophil, eosinophil, a lymphocyte, monocyte, as well as platelets. Each of these cells all have their own specific function. When our blood is taken and then separated, it is put into a centrifuge, which is this picture here. You can see where they're putting the blood samples in, and that spins it around. Here we have what an actual blood sample would look like. We have the heavier components on the bottom and the less dense on top. The bottom collects with the erythrocytes. We have this little middle layer here that is the buffy coat, and the very top layer is the plasma. This is my video regarding what blood looks like after it is separated and processed. This bottom layer is the erythrocytes, which is that red syrup. The middle layer is the buffy coat, which is leukocytes and platelets. That's the orange water. And then that very top layer is oil, which is the plasma. Something that is extremely interesting that our blood in our body does is called hemostasis. So when we cut ourselves, our blood vessels almost immediately constrict. Platelets gather because of the fact that collagen fibers are exposed. Fibrin threads then make a bridge to trap more platelets as well as red blood cells. Those threads then pull together to start the healing process. A clot is then formed, and we begin to heal ourselves. After some time, the clot goes away. A condition that some people do have is called hemophilia. Hemophilia is a condition or disorder regarding hemostasis. It means people have a harder time to stop bleeding. And because they have an issue with the amount of blood that they lose, that does cause some people to need blood transfusions. To close out blood, I'd like to go over the different blood types. So here on the side, you can see that there are many different blood types: A positive, O positive, B positive, AB positive, A negative, O negative, B negative, as well as AB negative. The second row here shows who you can give blood to. And this third row shows who you can receive blood from. As you can see, AB positive, you can give blood to AB positive, but you can receive from everyone. And that closes out the blood section. Next, we're going to be going over the circulatory system, specifically the blood vessels. What is it? So the circulatory system consists of our heart, blood vessels, and our blood. We're specifically going to be going over our veins, arteries, and capillaries. These are the network of tubes that help circulate our blood throughout our body. Did you know that if you connect all of these together, end to end, they equal out to almost 62,000 miles long? That's almost 3 times around the world. Here's a picture of our veins that are throughout our body. Veins carry CO2 from our body parts back to our heart. These next pictures show what veins consist of. So the outermost, number 1, is the outer coat. Number 2 is smooth muscle or elastic fibers. 3 is our basement membrane. 4 is the endothelium. And 5 is a valve. Here is a better picture of our valve. Veins are low pressure, so valves help keep blood flowing in the right direction. I will insert a video of valves working correctly and a picture of varicose veins. We get varicose veins when our valves are not working properly.
And I simulate leg muscle contraction by gently squeezing the patient's leg with my hands. You can see the valve.
Here's a picture of our arteries that are throughout our body. Arteries carry O2-rich blood away from the heart throughout the body. This next picture shows the layers of an artery. We have our tunica interna, which goes down into the endothelium, the basement membrane, internal elastic lamina. We have the tunica media, which consists of smooth muscle, external elastic lamina, and then lastly, we have our tunica externa. Next, I will attach a video of a clogged artery, which is caused by fats, cholesterol, and other substances. A clogged artery can cause a heart attack, also called a myocardial infarction.
The streak can get so large and hard that it cracks, causing a clot to form around the crack. This clot can block the artery, causing...
Here's a picture of our capillaries. Capillaries are a bridge between veins and arteries. They are a single layer of epithelial tissue. They're the smallest, but the most numerous throughout our body. The primary function is to exchange materials between blood and tissue cells. Here's a better representation of how our capillaries work. You can see that coming from the artery, we have the red blood cells that are taking oxygen and nutrients to the body cells. We have a capillary then going to the vein, which is taking carbon dioxide and waste through the vein and back to the heart.